Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with the word nature. Did you know that the origins of the word nature are Latin? And in Latin, natura means the essential qualities or the innate disposition. And even before that, in ancient times, it literally meant the birth. Imagine the significance of nature is the essence of this whole physical world. Before natura, the Greeks used to use the word physis, which originally relates to the intrinsic characteristics of plants, animals, and other features of the world that developed on their own accord. So when we think about nature, we think about mountains, we think about rivers, we think about valleys, and we think about trees, flowers, fruits. We think about wild animals. We think about all those living, non-living things that we see around us. An interesting observation is that we always expect nature to be perfect. We believe in essence that what nature does is always perfect. We expect to see perfect roses, perfect animals, perfect birds. Very rarely do we look at a patch of wildflowers and look at imperfections. When we pluck a rose to smell it or to give it to our lover, we are giving a perfect gift of nature. I was at the beach for New Year's Eve, and after swimming, we were walking around picking up seashells, and they all looked perfect. Each starfish on the road was perfect. They had that perfect spiral. The starfish had that perfect angles to their hands. So this got me thinking, aren't we humans also a part of nature? Aren't we also birthed by nature and thus a part of it? Just like the plants and the starfish and the birds above, we are also a creation of nature. And if we believe that the norm is for a flower to bloom, then why do we not expect this of ourselves? Why do we not see blooming is an amazing human thing that also happens? Why is it only reserved for a few people and we expect only a few people to bloom and not all of us? The reason for this is that as a society, we are built on comparison and judging one another. And as a result, we are so focused on what we think of as our flaws. I hate my nose. I hate my teeth. My left ear is slightly higher than my right. All of these become so prominent. It becomes the only thing that we see in ourselves. And when we look for imperfections, guess what? We find them. I know so many people who have imagined themselves to be imperfect. Their skin, their intelligence. And neither of these things had any bearing in real life. They were beautiful. They were smart. As humans, we believe the norm is to be imperfect. And then we live the rest of our lives trying to fix those imperfections. And we get so focused on trying to fix these imperfections that we never focus on ourselves blooming. And by blooming, I mean living the best lives that we can. However you define what that is for you. As your habit coach, I wanted to remind you that you are a part of nature, born from nature. And just as we expect a flower to bloom, I want you to expect your life to bloom. For when you think of blooming as the norm, there is no way that it cannot happen. We are entering a new year, and most of us would have already made goals for the year. Ask yourself, have you chosen these goals from a place of making up for your imperfections? Or have you chosen these goals from a place of watching your life bloom? I want you to make life choices based on expecting your life to bloom. Believe that that is the norm. Very often we fall into the habit of expecting the worst from life, expecting that nothing good will come to us. And when we do that, we get just that. We just focus on these things, and hence we live our life from this place of lack. From today onwards, I want you to change that habit. So your super simple habit starts by believing that you are a part of nature, and hence expect your life to bloom into magnificence. Next, start making choices, taking decisions, not based on lack or the things that are not perfect with your life, but decisions based on watching your life grow and bloom. And when you make this a habit, over the course of your life, you will have made hundreds and thousands of choices that are all moved by this one aim, this one purpose. Just like you were born in nature, being perfect and ready to bloom.